Hi, my alias is Alice. I live in infinity and I help people to embody their biggest potential and their inner divinity. I'm a spiritual mentor. I'm a founder of Alice Academy, which refers to advanced level in consciousness evolution. And today, let's start with one of the dearest and most interesting topic of my current investigation, which is the true nature of reality, consciousness of ether, and how to awaken your inner magic. And of course, when we ask question about the true nature of reality, there is a huge field of science, of philosophical discussions, of religions, even religious doctrine, spirituality. There are so many perspectives for which we could look and we could ask those questions and receive answers. And me myself, I could also do a lecture, collect all the information that I've got, that I could experience myself, my insights and stuff. But I felt that what I would love to do today is just an honest discussion, as if we met somewhere, I don't know, one-on-one, where I wouldn't need to be too professional or something, where I can be authentic, just sharing what is so fascinating in this question for me. Why I'm so amazed every time I found new levels and layers of experience, of personal experience, by investigating the nature of consciousness, the nature of matter, which is so deeply interconnected. And perhaps some of my insights and stories and visions will arise something in you as well. At least I hope so. So let's start this topic today just by sharing experiences. As I've started my journey in spirituality and received first levels of this transcendent experience, where you could just go beyond your physical form and you can understand that consciousness is absolutely unlimited. It could choose any form, it could take any form, and that spirit is not bounded by the form you're currently in. There's so many interesting questions that started to arise with me, especially as I could see some of my magic abilities and become more aware of the fact that, okay, my consciousness is in a way creating the reality, but not in a very dense way. For example, I still can't materialize objects, or I cannot teleport. It's a little bit more magical for me. But what I could do, and what I've experienced a lot, is that I can magnetize. I can attract experience that I want, people that I want. Sometimes a little wish like this is enough to receive what you asked universe to come in your field, in your reality. And I had a huge variety of experience which go a little bit beyond physical as we know it, a little bit beyond human experience. What I'm also saying, and what I also experienced, is that the physical structure of objects, including, for example, our physical body, can change forms for some conscious work. It can shapeshift. As an experienced lucid dreamer and a practitioner, I had a huge variety of experiences of shifting realities, which became totally normal for me. And when I say again, I live in infinity, it's because consciousness easily shifts in so many perspectives, ways, forms, worlds, way beyond things that we know in our human experience, way beyond forms like you can go, for example, in a rabbit or in a horse or in a form that you as a human are aware of. There's so many worlds and forms you could never even thought exist, but still you can experience them in a very dense way, just the way you, I don't know, eat an apple of wisdom and you feel this juicy substance coming in you and then digesting starts and all those things. And I just mean that by experiencing different realities, it's also very physical, very dense, very actual and practical experience, which arise so many questions to me about the nature of this force, the nature of matter itself. Because again, it's easy to say that, okay, everything is consciousness, everything is a divine mind, God's mind, unlimited, infinite. But why there are some levels of my magic, for example, that are available for me, which I could easily do, and it's not even a hard thing to manifest certain experiences. It comes like this. But then there are some other types of magical experiences, and there are a lot of history examples that actually it is possible, that it's possible to shift and shapeshift nature of matter, for example, to manifest things from nothing, to create your astral projection, like a copy of you, another you who will do all the dirty work, you know, and edit my videos. Again, there are certain layers of magic or of manifesting, of creating your wish experience and bringing it into reality, which is easily available for me as a consciousness, as a human being. And then there are a huge variety of experience which at a certain level I can't manifest yet in this density. I don't know the mechanics behind it. But what is curious, what is interesting, is that in your lucid dreams or in your those kind of shifting travels and stuff, you can actually experience those things so naturally, as if it has always been your actual ability. For example, what I've started to experience in my lucid dreams, of course, it's shape-shifting, is a way that I can transform my physical matter. Like, you are a certain character within your dream, and there are many other sprites and other characters, and then you can just shift your form there and become a pure spirit who is just traveling like a pure consciousness anywhere you want. You can create worlds within your dream, which is so funny because I experience it more often even being unconscious within my dream. And within my dream, I'm like, a god who is a bit in amnesia, and he's like creating the world without even understanding that he's creating this. But what happens after this? It's like in a Sims game, when you created a certain area, you built your house. I really do this. Like in my dream, I'm building the world, I'm building a house there, I'm building characters, I'm actually giving them traits, and then I go as a spirit within this game, within this certain part of experience, and I come into the scene of a dream where I'm already a certain character, which is just amazing how easy it is. It's so easy that you're not even conscious of it. You're just in a dream like a god on an autopilot who's automatically creating a world and then automatically experiencing this. And it is very curious again that those level of experiences, they're very available for psyche. And so the more I could collect this type of experience, the more I ask myself, how practically can I use this in real life? And what is the line between matter that we know it in physical realm, in physical reality, and this matter which is so easily to shift, so easily to create, to transform in your dreams, in other states of consciousness, which again is not just a certain way of hallucinating or just a certain world which exists only within your mind, but there are so many levels and layers that show me that there is a connection to some collective database, collective information, that this is also a certain level of reality. And so the more and more I had such experience, the more I had a question: what is the correlation between physical matter and this more liquid, more transformational state of being, state of existence? How can I practically use those skills, and how can I ground my magic here? For example, it's easy to create certain projects, to work with all those areas as an endless sandbox where you can create anything, where you really can create and experience worlds, and then you can bring this to physical density as a certain piece of art, which I do through my books, through Alias Academy, which will be translated soon in English as well. But is it possible to access deeper layers of your magic, of transmuting matter? And what is the true nature of matter again? As you are within a certain form. For example, me being currently in a form of a woman, yeah? Which is so random actually, and every time I look in the mirror I can't really believe I'm in this form. It's so random, as if I was, I don't know, in a form of a horse, or in the form of an ant, or in a man, or any, I don't know, any physical object, creature, anything. It doesn't make any sense to me, because I experience myself as this infinite, unlimited consciousness who is just riding on the fractals, creating anything you want, being a demiurge of certain scenes, and then you wake up here in this density, in a certain form, very structured one, which I could, of course, shapeshift, and I do this and I work with it and I see how dense I can get in this experience. But there's still obviously a lot of limitations in this experience, which is so interesting, fascinating, funny again. It's funny also that within those realms of lucid dreams, you could experience deeper layers of your talents, which then that you have a potential of them, but you can't then access them in this kind of density in physical realms. What I mean by that? You can sing just like, a mermaid, a siren there. You can hear music which you are unable to recreate, because this is just divine beauty which comes to your ears and you hear it there. And if you are a composer, if you are so good and educated in the way that you can recreate such music here in this density, well, you might try, give it a try. But if you're as me without any musical education, it would be just a certain divine music that you could never recreate here. What is so fascinating about those astral realms is that you can really see, like in Harry Potter, the moving portraits, moving pictures, they are so alive, they're so beautiful. This is kind of beauty that you can't even recreate here in physical realm, because they don't move in that way that they could be alive, they could be energetic in those fields, which is why I'm so curious, which is why I'm asking questions. is this physical reality a certain primordial way to exist for consciousness? Or is it a secondary way comparing to those reality which are so energetically dense, which are so easy to experience in deeper layers of talents, of beauty, of music, of art, of anything that you can't even recreate here in an easy way? Again, I asked myself a lot about what is matter, what is the true nature of it. And there are so many interesting keys that I found through ancient traditions, from modern investigations, up to quantum physics, which I don't feel myself in any kind as an expert in quantum physics, of course, though all the topics of science, of natural sciences, it really is fascinating. It's really something that I would love to study and investigate much deeper, on a deeper level that I could access in school. Such things as chemistry, physics, they make much more sense when you're familiar to alchemy, when you're familiar to spiritual substance which stays behind matter. But what is interesting here, with quantum physics or not, when we talk about those tiniest particles, when we talk about the connection and creation of matter, when we talk about electron, proton, and how atom is created, which we don't even know, we don't have an accurate model of what this really is. But we have those tiniest particles that create all visible reality. And as we go deeper to those mystery and mystical traditions, which was also the way that my consciousness was initiated, through those inner mysteries from ancient times that I've got, Orpheus mysteries and then later others, we hear certain things about vibrational structures, about the way that each particle vibrates in a certain level, on a certain level of density, and what we know as astral is just a more subtle way compared to this denser and denser and denser experience of physical matter. And that you can transform those different layers. It's very interesting as well, as I got one course which was connected to chemistry, but with Pythagorean system. It was the way that you saw chemistry as music, as notes, that each element is just another vibration. And so when you understand that your physical body as well has all the layers, so many layers, it has water, it has earth, it has air, you like, I don't know about fire, but electricity, you're like Avatar basically. You have all those substances within, and also you have a substance of spirit, which you might experience within your dreams again, which is more easy to recreate, to condense, to shapeshift. And what is interesting in another concept that I'm working with and I'm investigating, the concept of light body, of transcending your physical form, is that you refine, you clean, you make each little cell, each piece, each particle of you lighter and lighter and lighter, which is possible for a certain conscious work. And it's also an interesting topic of quintessence and the consciousness of ether, which has connected everything together and which is the primordial substance of all things. But I believe for today's video, it might be really random a bit, but I deeply want to share and to investigate this topic more, perhaps with people who might have some similar experience. Yeah, I just really would love to find some other magicians and like-minded people, but also for those who are interested in spiritual mentoring, in spiritual mentorship, which has a huge amount of amazing reviews from people who are connected with me and who got an ability to work with me. I did it before with the Russian-speaking audience. This option is now available in English-speaking field. So if you're interested, all the information will be in the description. I wish you all to embody your true potential, your biggest potential, to be more and more aware of your magic, of your mental skills, and of your own divinity. My name is Alice. I'll see you in infinity.